Yeah, I made friends with a ghost, but he's nice.
Hi, I'm Lady. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about my own personal paranormal stories and encounters with ghosts. While I make a ghost stuffy out of whatever leftover white felt I have, since I bought a lot of felt and I only ended up using the black felt to make things, so I thought I'd make a little ghost while I tell you ghost stories. Just going to take two pieces of felt and put them together and cut them out into a little ghosty shape. So first story. I was about 18 or 19 years old and me and my family just moved into a new house. It was a new build. And our old house was insanely haunted, so the energy of this house already felt a lot better. But because I'm a magnet and I'm dumb, I never really thought about if anything attached itself to me, which I feel like some things did, because there's no reason for a new build to be haunted unless I brought it with me, which was the theory that I had. I thought that I brought something with me, which I'm a lot better at not doing now. That's why I can live in a new apartment and not have it be so creepy. But yeah, I brought something with me, I think, and I insisted on sleeping in the basement. Don't ask me why. It was the first time in my entire life that I lived in a house that had a fully functional basement. And the basement was fully furnished. It was beautiful. It had a pool table. Like, it was a beautiful home. And being the oldest kid, I wanted my space. So since I wanted my space, I thought the best way to do that was to separate myself, but with like a whole floor of the house. So I asked my parents if that would be okay, and they said that's fine, but the only issue was there was no real bedroom in the basement. I'm just tying my thread up now. There was no bedroom. There was a little office that was maybe the size of a walk-in closet. And because I was stubborn, I'm like, it's fine. I'll get a bed to fit in there. And I did. So I got a bed to fit in there. And that was my room. And there was no issues at first because, like I said, it was a new build. We were all getting warmed up to the place. We were getting used to it. And I didn't feel any bad energy down there. Like, I would never pick a place to sleep that I felt had negative energy. So because I didn't feel anything and it was like my own privacy, the basement also had its own bathroom. So I was like, yeah, you know, everything seems like it'll work out. I ended up sleeping in that bedroom. But one night I had this really strange nightmare that I was in a park. And in this park, I was babysitting this little girl. Subconsciously, this could be worrying about my little sister, because my little sister would have been 8 at the time. But I was babysitting this little girl, and this woman shows up. And she's wearing, it looked like an old maid's outfit is the best way I could describe it. Like, it was black with a little bit of white, like a small little apron. And then the top of it was black, and she just was standing in like this middle of the park like this. Oh, she also had like, it looked like, you know how grieving widows have those like veils that cover their faces and it's just black? Yeah, she had that. So it was all black, and she was just standing there like this. So I'm watching the little girl I'm supposed to be watching. She turns a corner, like behind a bush, and then she doesn't come out. So I start freaking out because she runs near where I now see the woman is, and she's just standing there like this. Then the little girl walks out of the root, like out from behind the bush, and she's got like a white cloth over her face, and she just walks, and then her body faces me, and then I wake up. And yeah, that dream's a little disturbing, but that's not why I'm telling the story. The reason I'm telling the story is because when I woke up, that woman was on the end of my bed. And like I said, I have a small room. It was the size of a walk-in closet. I put my mattress to the very back of that walk-in closet, and the end of my bed was right where the door meets. So the end of my bed was very close to me. So the doors are right there, and she's like right here. Like not right in front of the door, but like a little off to the right. And she's just standing there. And I didn't have sleep paralysis because I could fully move enough to freak out and go under my covers. And I just hid under my blanket all night and I didn't go back to sleep. I just stayed under there until the sun came up. And when I saw the sun coming through my blanket, I kind of peeked my head over and she was gone. And then I sprinted my little butt up the stairs and ran and just stayed there until the rest of my family woke up. I just stayed in the living room just watching TV and Disney movies trying to like recover because it was really creepy. So that's story number 1, which is why I hate physical manifestations. You can, if you're a ghost, you can talk to me, you can tap my shoulder, but please don't show up because that stuff creeps me out. You don't even have to do anything, like just standing at the edge of my bed, like technically she's harmless, but I just didn't like her energy when I woke up. Like, I don't know, something about her felt really, really off. And we got this much done on the ghosty. Now for story 2. So story 2 takes place in my old house, my haunted house. I was maybe 6 or 7, give or take. How old was my brother? My brother might have been 6 or 7 actually, so I might have been 7, I was probably 8. I wish I could remember more, but it's such an old memory. I think I was 8. You know what, maybe I was 10. I know I wasn't a teenager, but I also know I wasn't like a little kid. I was probably 9 or 10 then, because the kitchen would have still been a kitchen when I was 7 or 8. So I was probably 10. I know that I think about it. I can't remember if my sister was born or not. Like I said, it's an old memory. But the important part stuck in my head. The thing you need to know about my old house, it was an old house. It was like a century house. And this house, it was old. It was like antique. It had like stained glass windows, like hardwood everything, like like the things that people describe when they say it's a character home. It had like wood accents all over the house. It looked like an older home. And it was. And we used to rent the top half of our house from my grandpa or my great uncle. I call him my grandpa because he's always been a grandpa figure to me. And we ended up converting what used to be the upstairs kitchen into my room. And from the moment it became my bedroom, it was nothing but bad vibes. There was this one corner of my bedroom that was just... It literally brought my heart rate up without me trying to. Like, I'd step in there and I'd just feel anxious, so I'd check my heart rate and it'd just be like boom, 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 boom. It was, I got like a body chill thinking about that corner of that room. Okay, but I, as a genius 10-year-old, decided to take my power back by making that corner of my bedroom where my bed was. Because I'm a genius. So dumb. But I put my bed there. And I remember one night I was doing homework and I just felt my arms. So like somebody was like, imagine somebody gently grabbing your arm and just pulling it up. And I just kind of went with it because I thought it was like maybe like my muscles freezing up, until I was against the wall. And the moment I was against the wall, it got stuck. And I literally couldn't move from this wall. I remember trying really hard, but it felt like somebody was pinning me. Like it started gentle and then it became like a... And in that moment, I remember yelling and my younger brother running into the room and me saying, "Help, I'm stuck to the wall." And then he started trying to pull me off the wall and he couldn't. So he ended up, he started crying. We were young and because he couldn't get me off the wall, and I started crying because I couldn't get off the wall. So he ends up calling my mom, and she just kind of walks in, starts laughing, and then she tries to pull me off the wall. And the moment she tried to pull me off the wall and she realized it was like I was glued there, that was the moment her face kind of changed. Like, looking back on it, she had her face changed. She was still trying to make it light, like, it's okay. Like, your body just went stiff. Like, it's okay. Like, it's whatever. But it felt like hands. Like, it felt like hands holding me back. But, like, my back was also stuck. Like, it was a lot for somebody who's just doing their homework, minding their business, and suddenly you're pinned to a wall. So my mom eventually came back. She told me to, like, close my eyes and relax. And then slowly I felt like it, like, losing grip. And then my mom pulled me off the wall. And then she started laughing and was like, oh, it's nothing, it's nothing, it's nothing. And then I remember confronting her about this when I was older. Like, why did you laugh? She's like, I didn't want you to see how scared I was. And I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, I felt like you weren't taking me seriously. She's like, no, I didn't know what to do. So I was, like, trying to make sure you guys wouldn't panic more. And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. That's fair. But, yeah. I'll get my brother, if I can, to see if he can remember this memory. Because he's a huge skeptic. Like, my brother, everything I ever tell him, he doesn't believe me. But this 1 to 2 incidents, there's another incident that he's also a part of. He always kind of goes, okay, I don't have an explanation, but weird stuff happens to you. Like, he doesn't necessarily believe in anything, but he can't explain the things that happen around me either. So, if I can find it, if he agrees to be in this video, I'd like insert a clip of that here.
You have reached.
Okay, so I'm gonna call my brother. He's finally available to take my call because we've been texting back and forth. So I'm gonna call him. He doesn't know exactly what the call is about, but I just told him it's for a video. So I'm gonna call him now. Hello.
What's up?
I'm making a video. Huh?
What? I have to leave the living room because they're watching dumb shit. It makes me laugh.
Oh, okay. I'm making a video. I wanted to know what you remembered from... Do you remember in our old house?
Yeah.
Like our childhood house? Do you remember?
Of course.
Do you remember, I want to know what you remember from that time I got pinned to the wall.
You got pulled to the wall?
Yeah, remember when I got
I
pinned?
swear to God you were stuck onto the bed. I remember that time.
Yeah, but my back was stuck to the wall. Like, I was pinned to the wall, but I was sitting on my
You were
bed.
just like pinned to the wall and the bed and I couldn't move you. And then I freaked out, so I called Mom. I think like, cause it felt like something was pushing down on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Something was like pushing down on you, but when Mom and Dad came for whatever, it like released. Wanna see something cool?
Sure.
I thought you were trying to say just anything I can remember.
No, I wanted to know what you remembered about that. Like, I'm gonna call you for more, but I'm only doing 3 stories for this video.
Okay.
So the being you're involved for the being in the, like, pinned to the bed. So I just wanted to know if you remembered, because you're the first person to call cap on anything that I do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what do I remember?
Yeah.
Girl, I barely remember. I remember you were like suction cup to the bed. That's a funny way of describing it, but you were like suction cup to the bed and the corner of the wall.
Yeah.
And I tried to move you, and you were like squirming around, like panicking, like get Mom. So I went to go get Mom.
Yeah, but you started crying too. You were crying.
I was crying. I thought that was implied. I was like Chucky Pinster. Of course I was crying.
How old were we? Because I couldn't remember. I struggled so hard to remember how old we were.
Me neither, but I think, pretty sure it was before I was born.
What? I thought it was maybe 10.
Really? No, you were small. But
I wasn't small, but I wasn't a teenager. And you were just a little bit younger than me.
So I don't remember. So I don't remember any reaction to it.
Yeah, me neither. But I've never had reactions to anything.
I guess, but like, oh, actually, yeah, no, it had to be older because your room used to be the kitchen. It was that room, yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted you
Well, like,
because you're a huge skeptic, so I wanted to. You're a skeptic in everything, but he was there for this one.
I'm skeptical.
Yeah.
I will say, like, I am skeptical, but like, there's a lot of things I've seen that like I cannot explain. But I feel it's arrogant to say it was ghost or it was this. I'm like, I don't think we know whatever it was.
Well, I feel like I might know, so.
No, it's like literally said that's arrogant because like I'm like we can't just assume it.
So that was my brother and his encounter with the same story. So into my last story, which is my new apartment. See, I went childhood home to next home to this home. And this one I'm telling because it's not that creepy. When we first moved here, right where I'm sitting, I felt like an energy, but it moved. So it moved from like my table to here to the door. And it does that throughout the day. My partner got me an EMF reader, just, for, ghost hunting purposes if we ever decide to do so. And I ended up testing it out. I'm like, let's, I know the vibes here, but whatever. So I turned on the EMF reader, and just like where I felt it, it started at my table, walked around here, and out the door. And that's the clip that I'll insert a clip of me using the EMF reader here. So here's my EMF reader. Don't mind how messy my table is. It's all the sewing stuff. Okay, time to follow it. It's already passed through, unless it's over here. Come on. Did it already walk out the door? And it stops. So yeah, the energy just keeps perpetually going in that circle. It's probably back over there, but I just want to show you with the EMF reader. I've already recorded it several times, so I'm just waiting for the energy to get back because it loops. And then we'll follow it together. If not, I'll just put in the original clip after this of me following the original energy. Because I got it also on the way back. It started to loop again. Hello, little energy. If you can do your little walk around now, that'd be great. I'd really appreciate it. Yeah, please do your walk around. Thank you. So now we gotta... Yep, keep going. Do your whole walk around. I'm gonna wait for it to loop back. You can loop back, I'm not worried. Okay, if it doesn't loop back, I'll put in the original footage of it hitting here, because I've already done this a couple times just to try and get the full loop, the full movement of this loop, and it hasn't, so. It's this section, oh, here he comes. Oh, maybe not. You can finish your loop, like you're just holding the EMF. Just in case, I just want to describe it, you don't have to worry. Alright, since this thing is going to go off, this whole section will just be spliced with me following the loop, because I know it always ends up here. But if I'm standing here, maybe it doesn't want to finish its loop. So I'm just going to stop. It's benevolent. I'm not worried. Oh, here they come. Here they come. They're standing right here, and it's making my back tingle. Hi. No, you don't have to come back. You can go. Oh, that's giving me such a tingle. Thank you. Yeah, so that's the loop that it walks in. So while I'm filming today anyway, I'm just gonna film the end of the video as well since I already got the camera out. But I don't think I explained properly what I meant when I was talking about the EMF reader. I filmed me talking, like I filmed the whole video before I actually went through my apartment with the EMF reader. So I have different thoughts than I originally did when I was speaking, because I thought it might have been like a memory or an echo, because it just goes in a circle, because that's what made me bring the EMF reader to that place specifically, because I feel the energy going in a circle. So that's why I was like, okay, so I'll take the EMF reader where I feel the energy and I'll just follow it to the door, because that's where it went. And I didn't really think it would interact or like react to me the way that it did in the video, which is why I have that like super long part with like sped up chunks in it, is because until, like, I've never had it, like I've never spoken to it before filming this video. But now, because of the fact that like it waited to walk to the door, and like, you know, after I was talking to it for a bit, like, no, go through, it's just an EMF, and maybe it can feel it, I don't know, when it walks through it or walks by it, I'm not necessarily sure, but it reacted. So now I'm thinking it might be a little bit more than like a trapped memory or an echo that's stuck. But whatever it is, I'm not too worried about it, because it's such a light, it's almost like it's not even here, which is why I didn't think it was like a ghost in the first place, because I'm like, such a light energy that I don't even feel like it's there 90% of the time until I like walk into this room and I get in the middle of the pathway, and then I'm like, oh, okay, got you. But it was so light that I didn't really even think of it as a presence. So my mind's kind of changed on that because of the fact that it reacted and it hesitated, and I was like, oh, that's interesting, that's never done that before. And like I could feel the fact that it was like coming closer slowly, like it felt like it was like, you know, feeling it through. But yeah, those are my thoughts on it. Nice to meet you. This is the most I've ever recorded myself in my entire life. I started catching some things on camera, but the only one that's really relevant is the one I'm going to show you. Was I was editing my last video about nightshade, or I was editing my nightshade video, when I noticed, because I was sitting here in that video also, I caught like a little orb moving. That's why I'm set up here today also, just in case I catch another one. But yeah, I caught that on film and I thought it was interesting. It actually is the reason I had the idea to make this video. All right, this is as far as I got with my ghost. I, you know, sewed both sides. And that's pretty much all the stories that I have for today in the video. So thank you so much for listening to my spooky stories, and if you liked this video and want more videos like it, please give it a like so that I know that, and we'll make more. Maybe I'll continue finishing the ghost stuffy every time I tell a ghost story. And if you didn't like this video, then tune in next week, because it'll probably be a completely different topic and completely different style of video, because I just make whatever I feel like making that week. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you had a good time listening to these stories, and I will see you next week. Thanks. Stop it, Nightshade. Worse than a toddler. She was eating tape. Wood accents. One sec. Ugh, cat hair. It had like, you know, because I had to reach, it would be like, I don't know. I can't describe the distance, but alright, so if you like, what? I love filming ghost stories when I'm home alone. Don't let anything spooky get you down. That was a really bad saying. Oh my god. I don't know how to end this video. I didn't hit the stop. You want to show up one more time? Nah, it's at 0. Thanks.